All right, ladies and gentlemen, limited power right now. You probably saw my video from earlier. It is March 21st, 2026. We have biblical flooding, once in a 1,000-year flood out here in Hawaii. Haven't seen anything like this before, honestly, in my lifetime. But I wanted to make sure I got out a critical emergency alert video before nuclear war. Donald Trump is prepping the masses for imminent strikes. Here's my video from earlier today. And he is preparing for attacks on, let me refresh, Iran's, let me show you here, power plants. So this just came out, of course, the U.S. government is deploying troops, prepping for a ground invasion in Iran, even though they promised no more foreign wars. But Trump just posted this. Here it is. If Iran doesn't fully open without threat the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours from this exact point in time, the United States of America will hit and obliterate their various power plants, starting with the biggest one first. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald John Trump. So, a couple things here. This tells me that Donald Trump is probably going to attack something else. For example, he would never announce what he's going to attack. So this is a game of poker and a game of chicken, and I think he just put out a red herring. I think he may in fact hit these power plants, but his real target is something else. So let me repeat. I think Donald Trump and Israel hit a different and or additional target. Now, when they say, look over here, something else is going on where you're not paying attention. For those of you that don't know, Cuba is now in darkness. Cuba has declared a blackout today. Cuba announces second nationwide blackout in less than a week. Could Donald Trump in the U.S. be taking Cuba as we speak? Is this another operation like what we saw with Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela with his kidnapping? Because we have a major issue, and I want you to understand, let's get out of the fake news here for a minute, that the Strait of Hormuz is responsible for some 20% of all natural gas supply distribution, 20% of not just LNG, but oil. This also affects fertilizer and food production. And if Trump does not open this up soon, we could have a worldwide famine. This is why I've suggested, I'm sure you can hear the rain still coming down really hard. We've got floods all around us right now. That Trump and King Bibi may in fact just nuke the Strait of Hormuz. That the idea here is just blow the crap out of all this into smithereens and open it up in a World War III fashion, kind of like the Panama Canal. Instead of dredging it, just nuke it. Now, I want to talk about nukes because I actually think that they have nukes planned. I think they will be limited and tactical in scope. What I mean by this is I think they will use limited tactical nuclear weapons. And this is going to be terrible because these are very dangerous, of course. Iran is already targeting Europe with hypersonics within range. Russia is very, very pissed off, along with China posturing for Taiwan. Let's remind ourselves that 80 million people lost their lives in World War II. And at that time, there was only about 3 billion people, I think, on the planet, if I remember correctly. So scale that today with 8 billion plus nukes. Okay, so plus nukes means that we're looking at 1 billion plus people could perish in this world war. Now, I understand Americans, they don't think the war is coming to their shores. Okay, I get it. I understand. They're too busy slurping these Starbucks Frappuccinos to consider this is coming to America. Okay, so this is not just a foreign Middle Eastern war anymore. Saddam Hussein with incubator babies, Iraq and Afghanistan. Okay, we're talking American shores. So we've already been warned that Iran, which is probably propaganda, is planning drone strikes in Los Angeles and in California. And you got Hollywood land, all these star-cut, slurping Frappuccino drinkers thinking it's not coming to their shore. I'm telling you, God forbid, I pray against it, but it is. Albert Einstein said he didn't know how, he knew World War III, how that would be fought. And I'm probably getting it partly incorrect, but he knew that World War IV would be fought with sticks and stones. So if they're using nukes, sticks and stones is coming next. Now again, this is all a part of the worldwide agenda to enslave global, flat earth, populations. And they will use any tactic needed, including lockdowns, poopy butt V's, bat poo diarrhea. And they will also use what they're spraying in our skies, now admitted, which is why we're in a 100,000-year storm here right now. And again, we've had the Palisades and Malibu and Lahaina. And they're also ready to use these. And this is not a freaking joke, ladies and gentlemen. Now, again, in addition, UFOs are about to be leaked by the Pentagon. This has all come out in recent months. Marco Rubio and others are starting to put out there that, yes, Trump is directing Pentagon release of any files of UFOs, little green men, aliens, and extraterrestrial non-human life beings. Again, this is all fake. It's all lies. For those of you that know your history, it was John Trump, one of Donald Trump's uncles, that took all of Nikola Tesla's key scientific findings after he passed on the 33rd floor in New York, Illuminati, took all that information and buried it. Things like free energy and cures and just a lot of stuff we're not allowed to know. So just understand it's all a big psyop. They've known about this stuff for years. And now Trump announcing a 48-hour ultimatum as we sit on the verge of nuke blasts and tacticals and world war. I believe Trump is bluffing. And listen to what I'm saying here. He's hitting a different target. His bluff that within the next 48 hours, he's going to bombard Iran power plants means he's going to hit something else. So I'll repost this video. Please like and share. Please get this video out to Americans not paying attention. Alert them that nuclear war is here, that nuke blasts are imminent, and that lockdowns 2.0 are here. There's not just only rationing happening now, but the too big to fail Epstein trafficking elites are now preparing for lockdown number 2. This will be an energy lockdown. It will make the lockdown of 2020 pale in comparison. You will not be able to drive your car. Hyperinflation will continue. Now, as part of this, Donald Trump, of course, will be taking Canada and Greenland to break it out into a regional empire to fight the Chinese during this new nuclear holocaust. Remember when they said peace, prosperity, and golden age? Nope, just nukes. Just nukes, ladies and gentlemen. Fertilizer shipments are stuck. Gasoline's racing to $7 plus a gallon. Japan tapping emergency reserves. South Korea capping fuel prices. The list goes on and on here. So I'll report as long as possible. The floods continue here in Hawaii. We've got limited power
ready to rock. All glory to God. I will keep producing content as long as we can before the nukes hit. This is your general. If you've tuned into this message, like and share. You are the tip of the spear. You are the resistance. I am your 1000X. And the general loves you. And Jesus Christ is king.